Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be with you here today, exchanging knowledge and wisdom with such an elite group. Thank you, Triscon, for making this happen. It's quite, painful for me to stay in between you and the break time, so let's try to make this joyous, value-adding, and interactive. I chose to have this to welcome you to the future, and with that, I would like to share with you a little story about a boy that was born a few years back in Baku, Azerbaijan. He was named Garry, a smart boy, passionate about education, intelligence, games, and with no doubt, he mastered the game of chess. As he grew older, he became the champion of chess year over year over year, until he reached the age of 34, and something else happened. I'll keep you hanging here with this thought for a minute, and we will come back to the story in a while. To make sure that you are with me throughout the journey, I'm gonna split this interactive session into 4 areas. So we're gonna talk about the what, the why, the how, and the way forward. The what, we have to talk about simplifying things. What is artificial intelligence? Is it computers talking to each other? Is it the singularity point where Terminator will overtake the nations? Or what is it all about? Despite the argument of everybody is claiming that they have actually came up with artificial intelligence, we have to give the credit to Alan Turing. Alan Turing was the mastermind behind cracking the code of the German secretive Enigma puzzle, which was creating various algorithms, which was changed every 24 hours and sending secret signals during the Second World War. So even if you are lucky and you manage to crack the code, you only have less than 24 hours before the code is changed. Alan Turing and his team managed, with the power of artificial intelligence and around thousands of CPUs, to crack the code. They have encrypted all the messages or decrypted all the messages exchanging between Germans and their allies, and they have managed, according to all the statisticians, to end the war in way less than what it used to be and saved millions of lives. Back to Garry. Garry actually is Garry Kasparov, the famous one. When he was playing chess, at some point of time in his career, he was able to play simultaneously with 32 active chess games, and he won them all. Eventually, he went to 32 learning machines, and still he won them. There was this competition between him, IBM, and many others. And eventually, in 1997, he actually lost to the Deep Blue. The Deep Blue was the name of that artificial machine. While Kasparov was thinking of the move and the next move after next, Deep Blue was processing 200 million options of movements of what he will do next. Which year was that again? 1997. The scary part is that that powerful Deep Blue computer is this tiny little one compared to the monster that you have in your pockets. A small chess app game that you have is even powerful than this one. That's a bit scary if we will magnify it and put it in the right magnitude. Few years later, we all have seen either the program Who Will Win the Million, من سيربح المليون, or what is known in the States as the Jeopardy. Back in 2013, IBM Watson, they brought 2 previous champions who won the Jeopardy, and they put them in between Watson. And again, the robots beat us up. It is quite a situation that we have to look for. Continuing with the what, this is the cycle of where we are. The Aran-Turing test, where AI is mainly perceived to be born in 1956 and 1945, then going into ELISA. And, you have to give credit for the marketing guys. They only, I don't know why, but they have something with ladies' names. Siri, with Elisa, with Microsoft, with apps and all of it. Maybe we have to come up with the next Abdullah, Muhammad, you don't know. Then the focus on the specific intelligence, IBM Watson, which came into play, and eventually the deep learning, and the cycle continues. This is definitely not the end of it. Now that we have identified briefly and only scratching the surface of how important AI is, how powerful it is, why should we care? Because I strongly believe in what Lewis have mentioned here. Whatever made you successful in the past, rest assured, it won't in the future. You have to evolve. We all remember the names of Pan Am, of Nokia, of big names who thought they will never be defeated. They will last there forever. But they are not there anymore. In this simple circle, what you see, mainly focusing on the logistics and supply chain, artificial intelligence can be used within inventory management. Why should we wait until we get that huge vessel into the dry dock and then we start ordering all our equipments? We should be smarter and order everything in previous time. We should be able to do our vendor management and supplier chain differently, putting the IoT in containers, making sure the last mile is actually looked at, as well as the first mile, the e-commerce and logistics. Few days back, on the Singles Day of 11/11, I'm sure you might have heard about it, Alibaba Express, when they have done their Singles Day promotion, in the first 20 minutes of that day, they have cashed in $20 billion. How many nations will achieve that figure in such a short time? Because I spent many years in logistics and supply chain between aviation, maritime, logistics, and others, here are just few examples of what could be the future looking like. Of course, the picture to your left could be a current situation, while the right, with the facial recognition, we actually participated in some analysis and studies to count how many times does a passenger have to take their passport, ticket out of their pockets, presented to the check-in agent, the boarding, the immigration, and at some times for security reasons, just before you get into the airplane another time. Will this be there within the artificial intelligence? We spoke earlier, and we heard our respected panelists talking about the collaboration between government bodies, regulations, and AI. Another example is the land transport, where in many countries, this is not a very strange picture to the left, but actually the future is autonomous trucks with no drivers. Bear in mind, no matter how successful this is going to be, are you going to put your son or daughter in an autonomous car, let's say with 90 or 95% accuracy? I don't think so. So the singularity point, in my perspective, is far-fetched. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Maritime and port management. Whenever we are shipping anything from one country to the other, we are moving from the left picture where anything can go wrong, and if you are shipping your next Ferrari, you don't want it to be here. You want to have it hand-carried, drone-carried. You want to have IoT sensors there, so you make sure that you are seeing your car or your stallion horse coming from wherever. You want to see the temperature, the humidity, visual, and all of that. Logistics and warehousing, again, It's one of many areas that we can actually get into technology, robotics, and save us all of that. Now that we have seen the why, let's go to the how. Logistics importance is as ancient as the oldest of the centuries. Sun Tzu, in The Art of War, he did mention that the line between disorder and order is in logistics. How about if we augment this logistics with artificial intelligence? Because of the time, I'm going to give you a bit of focus only on the maritime business. Ignore the aviation and the land transportation for a second. Why is it important? We got it. The what? We got it. The how. For us in the state of Qatar, 97% of our imports come by the sea. 99% of our exports is also by the sea. These are our top trader partners and the highest value of commodities via sea. With this slide, the key message is maritime business is very crucial for us, so we have to focus on it. Unfortunately, within the maritime business, it is the oldest industry, yet the slowest one to adopt into technology. For example, within the aviation business, the CO2 emissions was into play many years ago. The carbon emissions, the quota, and all of it. While in the maritime business, only next year, IMO, International Maritime Organization, is pushing the carbon emissions into play in January, while this was done years ahead in the land transport and years ahead into aviation business. What can we do within maritime business, within vessels? The IoT, we can install it to do the tracking of the shipments, to understand more about the engines. How good are they? Are they lubricated in time? What is the next maintenance cycle? Is there anything wrong with the outcomes of the lubricating oil that is coming to the labs? All the huge sums of data that we are gathering from all of these IoT devices has to be processed intelligently and moving the big, huge cluster of data into usable recommendations for the management to take it up. And here, instead of making it just a one line from supplier relation management all the way to customer relation and everything in between, it is to combine all of these together and create an ecosystem where it will help us be smarter, more agile, and efficient in taking the right decisions. Now that is all done and dusted, one will ask, what is the way forward? I strongly believe that it is very easy to come up and accept new ideas, but it is very difficult to get rid of the old ones. Triscon and everybody here, it is very vividly clear that you are here. You are listening to the voice of the change. You feel and you sense all the risk that is coming as well as the opportunities. We have to speak louder and to bigger audiences so we get the whole of the nation and the globe get smarter, more agile, more efficient. Otherwise, we will be history, just like Panams and the others. Garry Kasparov, and I mention his name here now for the third time because I want you to use him as an example. When he was brought to speak in TED Talk about his experience and what was going on in his head, he said, I was so happy to win the first out of the 6 games, but I was amazed with the amount of intelligence and the speed of how this machine is learning, and he lost miserably. He said, if I were to give you any advice, dream big. I have underestimated the ability. I was usually linking my next move with the body language of the guy sitting in front of me. What is he or she was thinking? I will do some moves to throw him off balance. But this guy, no, I couldn't. And the speed that he was processing with was amazing. We have to be cognizant here that it is not Deep Blue that defeated him, but all the smart brains behind Deep Blue, which are human, just like you, me, and all of us. How can we maximize that? Work hard. Make sure that you are collaborating, asking. There is never a wrong question. And I keep learning every day, from the janitor to the biggest individual that I will meet every day. Remember, it's not about us or here or today. It's about our younger generation, about the future, about tomorrow. It's about giving back to this country what it deserves. It's linking the Qatar Vision 2030. It's about this young guy who is trusting us that we are making and taking the right decisions for him or her. Before I conclude, the papers were given to you. We'll have a little bit of a test, just one question. Everybody have an A4 with him? I will wait for a few minutes or seconds just to make sure that each one of you have a paper in his or her hand. So just write your name, and the question is, what was the date of the game between Garry Kasparov and Deep Blue? No, I'm joking, that is not the one. What we are gonna do, we're gonna do a simple exercise, and I would like to ask you to get your pen, your pencil, whatever you have, into this A4 without cutting the peripherals apart. Quite simple, yes? Can it be done? I'll take some A4s. Some A4s. Yes, there you go. Abu Khalifa. So, I think we are all done. The next step is going to be to get your hand through the A4 without cutting the peripherals apart. Quite easy too. Ladies, you have a smaller hand, so you can do it. I'll be walking around. Dr. Shafi, thanks. Professor Roberto. Okay. Now that we are done, the next step is going to be try to get your head through the A4. I don't have much of hair, so it will be easy for me, but with the top gear, it is quite a challenge. But let's see. Yeah, you can do it. I'm waiting. I'm here all day. Sajeev, we agreed the first one who will do it will get a free ticket to Bangkok, right? Yes? This is where your next conference is going to be. Anybody is done? Good? Professor Roberto, I like your spirit. Yes, more are doing it. Muhammad? 2, 3, 4, 10. Excellent. I like the spirit. Well done. Now let's go to the next level. The next level is going to be getting the same A4 through your whole body without cutting the peripherals apart. Can it be done? No. Okay. Who says yes? Who says no? Wow, a lot of no's are there. Well, if we were to listen to the no, we would have never reached Mars, never landed on moon. Elon Musk will just dump on his dream. Would you like me to show you how it can be done? Yeah? Choose a volunteer. One volunteer, please. Would you like me to get only one? Well, both of you, yalla, come. You're just making it difficult for me. So instead of one, I will put two. Okay. Please come on top. And I would like 2 volunteers just to hold the same A4 from the sides. Any 2 volunteers? Yes, please. One more? Yes? So I have exactly the same A4, no magic included. What I'm going to do, my friend Alex will just stand there by the side, yes. I'm going to put both of you here. Please, if you can come this side. Muhammad. So this is exactly the same A4. I just did some cutting to it in a different way. Alex, your hand. Muhammad. We'll do it gently. Yes. One more. Okay, can you come in? Yeah. Can you come in? Oh. Can you hold it here? Yeah. It can very much be done. So, yeah, you can stay here till the whole day. Thank you very much. You all won yourself free lunch. So with this, the key message here, if I just imagine I came here and I told you, think out of the box, push your boundaries, ignore your limits, you might forget that within 5 or 6 seconds. But with this exercise that we have all participated in together, I expect you to hold on to that minute for a little bit longer. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience.